understand our son has been pressuring you for a transfer.
Has he ever? I told him absolutely not.
I'm glad we agree.
Last thing that boy needs to do right now is leave town.
I had a talk with him last night. I hope it did some good.
I don't think he listens to any of us right now.
Well, I tried to appeal to him on a different level.
How so?
Don't your father and I even rate a good morning?
Well, I know what you're thinking, Mother, and I don't want to talk about it.
Son? It's not a question of whether you want to talk to us. We happen to want to talk to you.
Guess who?
How many guesses do I get?
3. If you haven't figured it out by then, hate to think of the consequences.
That's my paper. Leave it alone.
No, it's not yours. It's mine.
If you will look closely, you'll see it's the New York Times. Yours is the local paper.
May I?
Not unless it's yours, Catherine. And if you want to know what to do with it, I have a couple of suggestions.
It's always so lovely to start off the morning with your crude remarks ringing in my ears.
Well, good morning. Are we all in our places with sunshiny faces?
Shut up, Esther.
So, what brings you by this time of day?
No, we're just running some errands, picking up the cleaning, going to the post office. Nothing too worth shaking.
But we wanted to stop by and ask you and Chris for lunch.
After we take our things back to the house, we're heading to Gina's.
Can you meet us at noon?
Well, I don't know about Chris, but I'm available. And listen, Mom, also, I'm ready to start looking for that woman you wanted me to find. What was her name, Ruth something?
Oh, never mind, honey. I found her myself.
Oh?
Well, we had a very nice visit. She's a lovely woman.
So, do you plan on seeing her again?
Oh, I don't know. Charlie, come on. We better run. We have a few more stops
Oh, tell
to
me
make.
something. This meeting at Gina's, is it any special occasion?
Oh, yes, son. We have plans to make. Plans I definitely want you to be part of.
That toast is for Mrs. Chancellor.
I'm sorry. Do you want it back?
Choke on it, Joe.
Where's my tea, Esther?
Have your own maid get it.
That reminds me, has Shirley returned yet?
Didn't know she left.
Yes. Yes, I sent her on a very important errand this morning. Oh, there you are, Shirley. Wonderful. You brought him.
Oh, ye gods, what is that?
It's Mrs. Abbott's new dog. Sit.
His name is Ralph.
Why on earth would you ever buy a beast like that, Jill?
Oh, we need a watchdog. We're 4 women out here in the country all alone.
We have Robert.
Oh, please, Robert. He lives in his own apartment, and it's totally separate from our house. Catherine, you read these papers. One can't be too careful.
Is he dangerous?
Only if you provoke him.
He is trained to attack on command, I think.
Jill, this has gone quite far enough.
Catherine, he will get used to you. But you know what? You have to smile because animals can sense fear in a person.
I have always been afraid of dogs. Now, I told you that. I was severely, severely bitten when I was a child. Now, you knew that.
Did I?
Of course. Don't pretend to me that you have forgotten. I told you at a time when I was foolish enough to trust you, and now you're going to turn this against me?
Oh, don't be so paranoid, please. I bought little Ralphie for one reason only. For security.
Oh, don't insult my intelligence, for God's sakes. I know exactly why you did it. Esther, get my coat.
You going out, Mrs. C?
Yes, of course I'm going out. Why in the world would I want my coat? Esther, have Robert bring the car around to the back entrance, please.
Let me guess. Could it be Violet?
Not even close.
Michelle.
One more wrong answer and you are dead meat.
Oh, wait. It's the lovely Diane.
Oh, it's about time. Oh, did I tell you how wonderful you were last night?
Oh, what can I say? You bring out the private side.
In appreciation, I brought you a treat.
You did?
2 treats, actually.
In the bag?
One of them. Selection of fresh Danish. Take a whiff.
Oh, smells delicious.
Yeah, thought you'd like that. You know, I was very disappointed when I woke up and you were gone this morning.
Sorry, darling. Duty calls.
Your loss. And now, kind sir, treat number 2.
Listen, I'm kind of swamped here. This isn't a good time. It's a bad time.
There's no such thing as a bad time for what I'm going to do to you.
You are not a shame on you.
Shame on both of us. Now, quit your protesting. Go lock the door.
Jack.
Sorry, Romeo. Didn't realize you were in a conference.
Esther, when you're finished down here, run upstairs and clean my room.
Jill, you have your own maid. Ask her to do it.
I'll pay you extra.
I don't need the money. We're talking about cleaning a room. Surely that nitwit you hired can handle it.
Fine, forget I asked.
I already have.
I don't think Esther likes me, Mrs. Abbott.
You got that right.
You making plans?
Honey, it's nothing to worry about. It's our wedding plans.
The big day's only a month off, you know.
Oh, yeah. I suppose there's a lot of planning to do.
Yes. So if it's at all possible, please try to get Christine to join us.
Okay, I'll give it my best shot.
See you at Gina's then?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Paul, you're planning to see Ruth again.
Oh, my son wasn't interested. Besides, I don't need to bother him with details of my church work.
Paul, I hate asking this, but how can your mother and Charlie possibly get married? In good conscience, how can we let her go through with it?
Dad, I have things to do.
You do you? Well, you aren't going to do them until we talk, all right?
We have talked this subject to death. I'm not doing it anymore. Sharon does not want us to get back together.
Do you know that for a fact?
Have you talked to her recently?
No.
Then how the hell do you know? Maybe she has softened her attitude. Maybe she wants to reconcile with you. Don't you think attempting to save your marriage is worth a little bit more of an effort on your part?
Honey, this is your marriage we're talking about. Your children. For the rest of your life. You can't turn your back on that.
Turn my back? I've done everything I can think of to get through to her. She wants no part of it. She wants no part of me. Now, why can't the both of you just accept that and back off?
Your timing leaves a lot to be desired, Bradley.
Hello, Diane.
Hello, Brad.
Jacko, looks like I have to buy you a do not disturb sign.
You know what? Just remember to knock on doors when you find them closed.
Look, fellas, why don't I leave you two to your business and share the Danish with Brad? Sure, there'll be plenty.
Quite a lady. But I have to wonder if it's wise to be making out like that in your office. And come on, Jack, Victor could walk in anytime.
Victor didn't walk in. Besides, can I help it if I have that effect on women? What's on your mind, Bradley?
Business. If you think you might be able to focus on that for a moment.
We got problems?
Well, that depends. You said you had some bright idea that would push Victor over the edge. Make it easier for us to take over the palace. Were you just blowing smoke?
Not at all.
Well, let's hear it, Jack. Time's running out.
You've hit the jackpot, Ralph. This is a great place.
Boy, we really got to Mrs. Chancellor with this dog, huh? You scared the hell out of her.
Not looking to terrify the old bat, I just want her out.
Well, the rate you're going, it shouldn't be long.
Things are going well, aren't they?
So, what's next?
Well, I do have some other things in mind. But let's just see how Ralph does. By the way, he is housebroken, isn't he?
That's what the man said.
It's a shame, because if he started doing his business on the carpet, that would really drive Catherine nuts.
Actually, we might all come to love Ralph. Like you said, 4 women living alone out here. Watchdog's not a bad idea, especially since there are no men around, aside from the chauffeur.
Shirley, we are perfectly capable of protecting ourselves, dog or no dog.
Maybe you are. Me, I like a strong male presence in the house.
Well, you do have a point. Men have their advantages.
Well, that's another subject altogether.
That's not what I was talking about.
Well, speak for yourself. I like to have a man around once in a while. But I guess Mrs. Chancellor's not real keen on outsiders, huh?
That is so true. Shirley, you keep Ralph occupied. You might even feed him some of that prime rib from the refrigerator. There's somebody I have to see.
Did you hear that? Prime rib. Did I tell you?
Forgive me for barging in like this unannounced.
Nonsense, Catherine. You're welcome anytime. Please, sit down. Here. Ah, you seem distressed. How can I help you?
I need to find my way out of a terrible situation. Michael, I'm at the end of my rope.
Miss me?
Well, you know I did.
I bought us some snacks. I found some of those cashews that you love so much.
Thanks, Ruthie.
Jim, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But I had a call from Paul. He's coming over again.
More home movies, I suppose.
He said it was the last. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I know how hard this has been for you.
Well, no harder than it's been for you, Jim. Trying to pull the past out of your memory. I see the struggle you've been going through. I'm sorry I blew up at you the other day.
Don't apologize, honey. You had every right.
You know, I just wish that we could just leave this turmoil behind us and just go home.
Yeah, but we can't. It's gone on too far, sweetheart. Gotta see it through. Try and bear with me a little longer. Can you do that?
Hi, Ruth. Can I come in?
Do I have a choice?
Hello, Dad. Like I said on the phone, this was the last reel I could find. And it was taken during one of our fishing trips. And it happens to be the one where I landed the big one. I was so proud when I pulled in that sucker. Practically had to hold on to me to keep me from jumping into the lake. Sorry about the commentary.
Let's just watch the movie, okay?
You know, Ruth, you really don't have to watch this with us. I mean, I completely understand.
No, I'm gonna stay if you don't mind.
Whatever makes you comfortable, Ruthie.
Well, that's the day I landed Moby Bass.
Your mother took those pictures?
Yeah. She did a pretty good job, don't you think? Anything?
No, I'm sorry. Oh, I know that that's my life flashing up there on the screen,
But you don't remember it.
I've tried very hard, Paul. I mean, I have tried hard to feel something. To find some connection between me and those people we were so many years ago.
Not even a glimmer of recollection?
Oh, I know it's me up there. In my head, I know that, but in my heart, that man is a stranger.
Do you see what this is doing to him? How much longer does this have to go on?
Well, I don't know. As long as he wants to keep on trying, it's up to him.
He's doing this for you, Paul. You realize that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna get some coffee. Would anyone like any?
I can only assume that this terrible situation concerns Jill Abbott and the fact that you two have been forced to share the same home.
It's become a nightmare. This thing that Jill has hired as a personal maid is bad enough. But now Jill has gone and bought herself a dog.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding, Michael. This Shirley person, Jill's maid, trotted that animal right out into my home this morning. Jill said she bought it because we needed protection, knowing full well my absolute fear of dogs.
No. Catherine, I don't see any harm in a little house pet.
Little, Michael, this is not little. My God, the thing is a monster. You haven't seen it. It's practically prehistoric.
Now, come now, I'm sure that's an exaggeration.
Well, just the same, I can't live that way. I don't like it, and I will not live that way.
Look, Catherine, I'm sorry you're so upset. But the courts have spoken. Jill has every right to live there and hire whomever she wishes and have whatever kind of pet she wants.
Are you telling me that there is no way we can get that slobbering monster out of my house? And I'm not talking about Jill.
Well, actually, it's probably a good idea that you have a watchdog. 2 women living out there alone.
Four, Michael. There are 4 of us. There's Esther, and then this other thing that's from another planet.
That's hardly a reason for any judge to grant an injunction.
I told you that Jill knows my fear. Listen to me. My fear of dogs.
I'm sorry, Catherine. It's just not going to fly.
Don't you understand what's happening? I mean, don't you care? Listen to me. She is playing on my every weakness. She is systematically trying to destroy me, Michael. And I am simply asking you to help me find a way out of this. Just please help me.
All right. If it's that bad, I can only think of one solution.
What? Tell me. Tell me.
You sell the house, and you split the profits.
Thank you. Thank you for meeting with me, John.
Well, it's a bit early for a crisis, isn't it, Jill?
Well, you know me, I just love a good crisis.
Sure we're words we never spoke. So, want to order something?
In a little while. Right now, I would like to get down to business.
Fine. I assume this is a legal matter?
Not this time. This is, personal. Very personal.
I'm trying my best to be understanding. Your attitude is not helping at all.
And stop playing marriage counselor.
Don't you realize that your mother and I are trying to help you?
I don't want your help.
Listen
Look, I already told you I'm not talking about this anymore with you.
You need to talk about it.
No, what I need is less interference from you two. Look, no matter how good your motives are, your advice is getting a little hard to swallow. Especially since it's coming from parents who spent most of their lives married to other people. In fact, Dad, you still are.
That's enough, my boy.
Finally, something we agree on.
Well, I'm glad Ruth calmed down.
She's coping.
You know, I talked to Mom about her visit with Ruth. And evidently Ruth can be trusted. She didn't give anything away.
Not surprised.
Well, I guess I am. You know, I realize how tough this whole thing has been on you. And I hope you believe me when I say that the last thing I want is to see you suffer. It's just that I remember a time when you and I were as close as a father and son could be. And I know it's not what you want anymore. How can I want something I don't even remember? Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I do. I'd be lying to you to tell you that it's not what I want.
Hello? Mary? It's Ruth. Ruth Perkins.
Okay, Bradley. Let's review what we already have. Starting with Victor's first mistake.
Making a deal with Brooke Logan?
A deal we already passed on.
A deal you'd passed on.
Okay, whatever. A deal I passed on. The point is he went over our heads.
That part's true. Second mistake?
Second mistake was sealing the deal without going to the board first.
That's not enough to throw him out, Jack.
No, but it's a hell of a good start. Look, this is the same maverick crap he pulled when he bought Jabot. Just to get at my family. He's doing it again.
Just because we turned thumbs down.
He did all of this to teach us a lesson, to tell us that he is still the boss.
Yeah, well, Jack, the problem is he is still the boss.
Not for long, hopefully. We have no idea how much he pledged in this Forrester deal. We have no idea how many millions he committed to this venture.
Which could hurt the company and delay future projects.
Now you see where I'm going with this.
Go to the board, blow the whistle.
Well, that was my first thought, but I think maybe that's a mistake. Victor isn't dumb enough to sell the store. No, never said he was stupid, and this may be a trap he's setting for us.
Well, how do we find out without putting ourselves in the spotlight?
Well, we have to find out whether this negotiation with Forrester was a smart one or a stupid one, and if it's the latter, just how stupid.
Well, I think we can assume it was a smart one, Jack.
Okay, then it's up to us to make it look stupid.
And how do we do that?
To make our case that Victor has misappropriated company funds, we have to get into his personal files. Show that he messed up, or at least make it look like he messed up.
You're talking about his computer files.
And for that, we need his personal access code.
We could hire a professional computer hacker to break in.
No, that's someone we don't know who knows too much. No, we can't trust that.
Well, Jack, we have to do something before Baldwin makes his final move.
No, you're right. You're right. If he goes to Victor with this demand for a board seat for Diane before we're ready, hell, Victor will put two and two together and tie the demand to me. He already knows I'm seeing Diane. He's going to be suspicious.
Yeah, well, if that happens, it's bye-bye, Jackie.
I hope I don't have to remind you. If I go down, you go down with me. Don't forget that.
I never thought I'd hear our son talk to us that way.
Don't take it personally. I don't think he's thinking clearly.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
Why do you say that?
He's got a point. We haven't been the best examples.
What do you mean by that? Are we to blame for his problems?
No, of course not. It's just that we keep telling him not to run from his problems, and yet you have to admit we've done our share of running.
I'll give you that much, but that doesn't justify the behavior I just witnessed.
You were a bit harsh on him.
I don't give a damn. I will not be lectured to by my son.
No, of course not. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty. You've been a wonderful father. I know how much you love the kids. Maybe I'm the one who should have done more.
What are you talking about? Our children's problems are not your fault, nor are they mine.
It just seems like the whole family's falling apart. I mean, it's been one thing after another. Victoria and Cole, and the baby, and Nicholas, and your divorce. Talking about that, I have to wonder if we're ever going to be rid of that woman.
sell my house? Impossible. I'd rather die first.
I don't know of any other
No,
solution,
absolutely
Catherine.
not. It's not even an option. Philip is buried on that property.
I know that. I realize how much you loved him. Look, Philip Chancellor is dead. You've got to start thinking about yourself. And I'm sure he'd want you to be happy, and you are so clearly miserable.
How right you are. But what happens to that house, to that property that he's buried on, is what matters. More than anyone can imagine. Philip can't speak for himself. He can't defend himself. I have to speak for him. I have to hold on to what he would have wanted.
I'm sorry, Catherine, but if you choose not to leave, then you have no other option than to share the house with Jill. She has equal rights.
Is it? Yeah, we appeal to a higher court.
No, it's very unlikely that they would overturn this decision. I'm going to give you my best advice. You have got to get over your feelings about Jill. You do her no harm. And you only poison your own life.
You see, you really don't understand. Even if I could let loose of the past, it's the present that matters. Jill is not going to rest until she drives me out of my home. Or possibly my mind, possibly both. Now, you listen to me, and you listen to me well. Jill Foster is a very evil human being.
Didn't your mother ever tell you it's not polite to stare?
I wasn't staring exactly. It's more like admiring. You're a very handsome man. Did you know that?
I get the feeling we're wandering off the subject.
Well, actually, we're not, because it concerns you.
I'm almost afraid to hear more.
Do you remember how you always told me that the only thing standing in the way of us getting together was the fact I was your client?
I try not to mix business with pleasure, if that's what you mean.
Well, I'm not your client anymore. The trial is over.
Okay.
I have a proposition for you. It's a very attractive proposition, if I do say so myself. Well, don't you want to know what it is?
I don't know. Do
Let me ask you a question first. What do you think of the house that I'm living in?
Chancellor Estate? It's a fabulous place. Spectacular.
Great. Because I want you to move in with me. Hope I'm not calling at a bad time.
Oh, of course not, Ruth.
You did say to call anytime.
Yes, and I meant that. I wasn't sure I'd hear from you.
I'm sorry if I seemed rude the other day.
Oh, now, don't give that another thought. My goodness, you're new in town and your husband is sick. You've had your hands full. How is he, by the way?
Jim? Well, I'm pleased to say he's feeling 100% better.
Oh, that's good news.
In fact, I was wondering, is that dinner invitation still open?
Absolutely. When can you come over?
Oh, I don't want to put you out.
Nonsense.
In fact, I'd like it to be our treat. We could go to some restaurant, meet you and your gentleman friend.
Oh, Ruth, that's not necessary.
I insist. In fact, why wait? We could meet for lunch today if it's convenient. Just name the place.
Well, Charlie and I were already planning to go to Gina's. It's over on Summit. It's a wonderful place. We could meet there.
Sounds good. Say an hour?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm so anxious to meet your husband. We'll see you then.
You're very right. getting home. These stupid divorce proceedings must affect you.
Well, I've tried to be strong. I've tried to be patient, but I think it's just taking its toll on me. The divorce is dragging on so long. I can only imagine what it's doing to you. You had to turn away from the company that you love, hand it over to other people. It must kill you.
Don't worry about me, I can handle it.
And then I just keep asking myself, is this ever going to end? Are our lives ever going to be normal again? It's wearing us down, Victor, and I'm sure it's affecting the children, too.
It's a problem I will deal with.
Is there an end in sight?
Yes, there is. This time I took the situation in my own hands. I'm fed up with the lawyers and their stalling tactics. Fed up with it. This is Victor Newman. Is Christine Williamson, please? When do you expect her back? You tell her that I want to see her at my ranch as soon as she gets back, all right? Thank you. I'm sorry for everything I've put you through with this damn divorce. I really am. It will come to an end, I promise you that.
Okay, genius, what's our next move?
Tell you what, why don't you go to Baldwin, get him to slow down the divorce proceedings, buy us some time.
Why me?
Because I think it's better he hear it from you. You have such good people skills.
So while I go deal with the slime bag, what are you gonna do? Swap spit with Diane?
No, I'm gonna find a way to get access to the Black Knight's private computer files.
Do you have a plan?
I'll come up with something. Leave me alone, let me think about it.
All right, well, while you work on that, I'll go deal with Baldwin. Wish me luck.
God, it's all in here. The keys to the kingdom. I gotta have Newman's private access code. How the hell do I get that? Yeah, come in. Nicholas, bright and early for you.
Nothing to stay home for.
Oh, something wrong, buddy?
Yeah, everything.
Still trouble with your wife?
Oh, my wife, my old man, my mother. You name it, I'm upset with them. Look, Jack, I need your help. I got a big problem.
Funny you should say that. I have a problem, too. Maybe we can help each other.
Join us again for The Young and the Restless.